Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, and today we're looking at another replay for League of Legends. We're going to be looking at a Janna game. I think it's bronze? Yes, a bronze 1 Janna game. Okay, so you can access this Google Doc that I'm going to be going over in the description if you want to follow along as well. You can also find the game start time and the post-game start time if you want to jump to those. And you can also find some links to more coaching videos if you want those. My in-depth Janna guide if you're interested in that. Other champion guides like Sona, Soraka, Nami, and a bunch of others that I have added on there. And if you're interested in getting a coaching session just like this, it's only $20. Just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. I can set that up for you. I usually have a turnaround within a few days. I think it's very, very helpful. A lot of people have told me that they've gained quite a bit of ELO after some of these coaching sessions. So do consider it if you want to support the channel, and consider going with that. And I'll talk more about that at the end of the video as well. Okay, let's go ahead and get in here. All right, so pretty good warding overall. You want to aim for 1 control ward every 5 minutes and 1 normal ward every minute on average. So you had 6 control wards, and I think your normal wards were good too. Yeah, 30 and 38 minutes. That's pretty good considering you rushed Ardent Sensor, which is what you should do in this matchup. So that's all really solid. I like that. As far as runes, you want to aim for armor reds, health yellows, AP blues, and AP quints most of the time. In this matchup, though, against Soraka, you might actually consider going gold. Gold per 5, so you could, if you have those. Those are kind of obscure runes that a lot of people don't have. But if you have them, that's gold yellows and gold quints. The ones that I listed off first are just fine. This will just help you get your Ardent Sensor about 1 back faster. You'll have about 300 more gold around 13 minutes if you run for the gold quints. Assuming that you don't die or get pushed out of lane too much. But since it's going to be a big time farm off lane anyways, this is one where you might consider going the gold runes. But like I said, this stuff is fine too. This gives you a little bit more of a secure early game. That's fine. And I think that's pretty much what you ran. Yeah, you're still building up your rune set, which is fine. I think you told me as you were still kind of newer to the game, like you'd only been around for the last year or so, I believe, or you were getting back into it. I can't remember the narrative offhand, but they're changing the rune system in November anyway, so it's not a huge deal. But yeah, these runes look pretty good overall. I think these are like some tier 2 runes. Some of them are like this one, but that's fine. Runes are very expensive. So I think that's good. Pretty good rune page overall. Perfect masteries, exactly what you want. Wind Speakers, Insight, Runic Armor, Explorer. All that looks good. As far as your build order, I do like rushing Ardent Sensor here. I have the Oasis, Redemption, and I would say Athene's Unholy Grail. Now, this is something I'm going to talk about just for a couple of minutes here because I think this is a misunderstood. Because I get asked this question all the time on stream. What should I build as my final item on someone like Janna? Or they'll ask, well, why are you building Athene's Unholy Grail? Like, you know, Janna doesn't do much damage, so you're not really getting a lot of use out of it. Well, you don't have to do damage to get use out of it. It's what the question comes down to is, do you need that active? Do you need the extra cleanse to get rid of roots, stuns, fears? Is there someone who's actively crowd controlling important members of your team? And do you need that? If you do not need that, you should not get Mikhail's. You should get Athene's Unholy Grail instead. And I'm going to show you really quickly why that is. So if we look at the item, Athene's Unholy Grail, it's very similar to Mikhail's. Mikhail's is going to have 10 more magic resist. I'm not going, and obviously a lot of ability power, which is key. So the main stat here, it has the same mana regen. It has 10 more magic resist, which may or may not come into play. And then you've got your Harmony, which is you gain 25% base health regen for every additional 25% mana regen. So that's okay. You know, late game, you have 300% mana regen here, so that does give you 300% health regen, which is pretty nice. Gives you a little bit of health over time, but that usually doesn't matter as much outside of the laning phase. So this is obviously going to give you a decent chunk of extra healing and shielding. Remember, this is not just abilities. If you land auto attacks, you're still going to get basically 25% of any damage that you do gives you extra healing and shielding. And don't forget, this healing and shielding also gets boosted by plus healing and shielding. So if you do the 250 heal here, then you're going to actually get that modified by an extra 30%. So you're going to do 130% of that, which is, I'm not sure, it's in the 300s. It's like 320, something like that. 320, 330. Should be like 333, I think, something like that. 330, 335. But so this is kind of difficult to analyze depending on what's going on. I would say that this is definitely unequivocally going to give you more healing and shielding. Like this, other than, you know, Mikhail's, whatever this gives, you know, the extra mana regen or health regen. I think this is definitely an upgrade over that, unequivocally. But the question is, and this is why people will usually get Mikhail's, it's like, but Mikhail's has the plus 20% healing and shielding. And this is something we can compare. Is this plus 20% healing and shielding better than Dissonance, which is 5 ability power for every 25% base? That's something that's real easy to do the math on. So let's go ahead and I went ahead and did the math for you here. So if we look at, you have 300% bonus mana regen right now with Ardent Sensor. What was it? Let me see here. We've got Ardent gives you 50, Redemption gives you 150, and then the Athene's itself gives you 100%. As does Mikhail's. So that's 100% right there. So you get 300% total. Okay, so you get an extra 5 ability power per 300%. That's plus 60 ability power, and then it has, I think that's right? I'm like confusing myself now. Get an extra, a wife in the other room. 5 ability power per 25. Yeah, 4. So that's 20. Yes, that's right. 60. I don't know why I started doubting myself. Okay, 60 AP. It comes with a base of 30. So that's 90 total AP. So if we compare Janna's shield with Mikhail's versus Janna's shield with Athene's Unholy Grail, these are the numbers that we come up with. So it has 240 base. Look at Janna's shield. It has 240 base and a 0.7 ratio. AP also benefits the extra AD that you get off of that. So having 90 extra AD would give you 90 extra AP would give you an extra 9 AD on the bonus AD with your shield, which is relevant. Very, very relevant. It's like 25% more damage that you're doing with your shield, which is huge. But I didn't look into that. I'm looking at strictly how much extra shielding and healing does it give. So you have 240 base, you have 23 AP off your runes, times 0.7, and then you multiply the whole thing by 1.5 because you have 50% bonus healing and shielding. Gives you a total of a 384 shield. If you look at Athene's Unholy Grail, you have 240, then you have 113 AP because you're getting 90 plus the 23 times 0.7, and you multiply that by 1.3 because you're only going to have 30% healing and shielding off of your Redemption, Ardent Sensor, and Wind Speakers. And that gives you 415. So you're getting an extra 31, healing and shielding off of that, which is about 7% of the total. That's pretty good. Actually, it'd be 31. There we go. It's an extra 8% over the 384. That's a better way to look at it. Extra like 8.1% or so over it. So you're getting an extra 8% out of it off of that. Well, even if you look at Janna's ultimate, which you're thinking, okay, well, this has a really high base number, right? So surely the plus healing and shielding would be higher here. Well, it's not necessarily the case. If we look at this, you have 600 base healing, 23 times the 150% ratio times the 50% extra healing and shielding takes you to 952. And then with Athene's Unholy Grail takes you to 1,000, which is about 5% more from 952, thereabouts. So with both your normal shield and your ultimate, you're going to get more shielding and healing. Now you are going to get more, slightly more off of your Redemption itself, because that doesn't have any sort of AP ratio to it. It's only plus healing and shielding, and you get 3 times the benefit whenever you hit with Redemption. So your one-shot Redemption is going to do more I didn't do the math on that, but it's unequivocally going to do more than Athene's Unholy Grail. But everything else, your normal shield and your ultimate, which are much more reliable and you're going to be using them much more in the fight, actually benefit. And remember, that's not including anything off of this pre-mitigation. Even if you don't ever touch anybody, it still is going to be more efficient to get in Athene's with the build that you have. Just because of the raw AP. And once you start counting in these extra shields off of this, extra healing and shielding, because remember, your auto attacks trigger it, your W triggers it, if your tornado hits people, that triggers it. So there are a lot of different things that can give you this extra healing and shielding. And remember, it's pre-mitigation, so your auto attacks late game will be hitting for 70, even like 70 base, even though it's going to get blocked by armor and reduced a lot, it would still give you that extra 25% of the 70, not of the reduced amount. So that's really strong. And I think part of what messes people up in the calculations is people will forget that the AP also gets modified by the plus healing and shielding. So the AP applies first. So you get the 240, and then you get the total AP, the 70% of your AP, and then that number, whatever the base plus the AP, gets modified by the plus healing and shielding. So that extra 30%, or you have the 1.3 ratio. If you go for the Athenes, that 30% extra healing and shielding applies after the AP, and that's how you get the much bigger numbers, because AP scales really well with plus healing and shielding. So, just wanted to throw out some math there that might be more than you wanted to know about itemization, but I think that's a very common misconception, is people think, oh, well, if you don't do any damage, then, you know, Athene's Unholy Grail is worthless, right? Like, obviously, that's a good item on Sona, but it's not a good item on Janna, or it's not a good item on Soraka, when the truth is, it actually is. It depends on your AP ratios. And because Janna has such a high AP ratio on both her ultimate and her E, then it's definitely worth it to get Athene's as your final item there. Once again, you want to get Ardent first, you want to get Redemption first, you want to get Oasis first, and then you can get Athene's after that, unless they have a lot of crowd control, which they don't. You know, the only thing they're going to have is like an RE charm. Like, that's it. So, you know, if they had something like a Vagar or a Thresh or a Vi or a Lux, or, you know, just something that had really deadly crowd controls, then yeah, you can go ahead and, you know, get Mikhail's. But unless you're really using that ultimate properly, that's another question. How often do you use that? Or not ultimate, how often do you use that item active properly, right? Even if you're against something like a Lux, are you able to get them out of that bind fast enough to save them? Or are you just a little bit slow on the draw because of, you know, internet or just your reaction speed or whatever, and they die anyways? Or like a Morgana bind. So you need to be real with yourself, and I don't know, we'll see how it works out in here, but I don't think they have enough crowd control to justify it. And just ask yourself in these games, or maybe even if they did have more crowd control, are you using it fast enough for it to matter? Like, if Lulu polymorphs your Ezreal here, are you breaking them out of that polymorph within like a quarter of a second? Because if you're not, then you may not want to use it. And I think just in general, I see some of these games, you go Mikhail's plus Redemption plus Locket. I highly advise against that, because that's too many actives to keep track of. You know, you're trying to figure out when you should Locket, when you should Redemption, when you should Mikhail's. You can do it with 3 actives, but it starts to become very difficult to juggle all that and use it all optimally. And we're not looking at that game, so I can't see how you use it that game, but it's just my advice to you is consider Athene's Unholy Grail more than perhaps you had in the past, especially against teams that don't have the active crowd control. If you fill up your entire item slot, I would recommend going Mikhail's and Athene's. I know that the Harmony, it's like, don't get it because it cancels out Harmony if you have the Disharmony or whatever it's called. Disables Harmony if you have Dissonance. It doesn't matter. It's still worth it to get both of these items. All this does is it takes away the plus healing and shielding, or the extra health regeneration that you get later in the game off of Mikhail's. That doesn't matter that much. It's worth it to get both of these items in a lot of games as 6. Unless you need Locket because they have like just massive area of effect magic damage. But it's perfectly fine to get both of these items, and in fact recommended in a lot of cases. Okay, because it doesn't disable the whole item. It just takes off that one passive that doesn't matter that much anyways. Okay, so I just wanted to make my case for Athene's Unholy Grail. I think it's a very underutilized item, and I think it's particularly powerful. Not powerful enough to rush it as one of your first 2 items, but certainly should start coming into consideration by your third item. Okay, so overall, how's this game looking? It looks like it's probably going to be a farm off early. Like I said, you may want to run the gold runes if you have them. If you don't have them, it's not a huge difference. It just lets you get your Athene's Unholy Grail just one back faster. Try to keep Sivir from pushing too hard, so help your Twitch sort of keep the lane pushed up so he doesn't get pushed in the tower if you can. Don't try to waste time trading with Sivir in lane. She's just going to get healed by Soraka, and if you cast a bunch of spells on her, she's just going to spell shield him. And you're just going to give her more mana. So unless the jungler comes, unless you're going to get an all-in situation, don't worry about it. It's fine just to have a farm off. Twitch is probably going to outscale Sivir. Okay, try to get the tier 2 gold item immediately. I don't think that you did that. I think that you rushed Ardent Sensor. You do want Ardent fast, but you want to get this because it helps you get Ardent faster over time. So you want to upgrade this, and it gives you 5% more CDR, which is very nice. And it lets you finish your Emperor's Favor faster, which is very good. I mean, giving an extra 8% movement speed to allies is huge. So you want to upgrade this as fast as you possibly can. Your gold item. Like, don't back and leave your Twitch in lane alone. But, you know, whenever it's reasonable to go back, you want to get that item as soon as you can. And then rush Ardent after that. And they're probably going to outscale you later unless Twitch just goes off and goes huge. But, you know, just looking at it here, Akali is going to scale really hard. I don't know. Maybe that's not true. Like, Yi and Twitch both scale very hard. GP is very... I see a lot of GPs fail, so he can scale really hard, but it's a little trickier. I guess it's about even. It's probably about even. Zen scales really pretty hard, too, with Yi. I think Yi's better than Zen, but... we'll see. It's always a good idea to try to close out games early, so we'll leave that on there, even though that may not be entirely true. It's a good mentality to have, that we need to, you know, try to close out early. So you don't have to rush anything, but you need to be, you know, thinking about how to close out. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the game here. Sorry, that was a pretty long preamble, but I just wanted to make my case for Athene's, because I think it's a very underutilized item, especially on Janna, because people, you know, think that the blood charges, you're not going to get enough blood charges, so... you don't want to get it, which you don't even need blood charges, and it's worth it a lot of the time after you get Redemption and Ardent, because you're going to have so much mana regeneration, particularly after Redemption, that it just gives you a ton of extra AP. Right, so we're just going to speed up. I might speed through some of this early game. We'll see how it goes. Keep it at 2x speed, because it's, I imagine it's probably going to be a farm off lane. Yi is not really a prolific ganker early either. And it's just not a lot you should be doing here. Like, you know, some people might, who are watching this, might say, oh, well, Janna should be going up and auto-attacking and critiquing. Oh, thanks, dear.
You're welcome.
I thought this was too salty for you. Oh, this is...
It's leftover. It's fine.
Trying to feed me leftovers? Okay, I'll eat it. Thank you, dear. Alright. I'm just trolling her a little bit. Okay, so... yeah, you know, some people might say, oh, you should be going up and autoing more, or, you know, casting spells, like you have a full mana bar. You know, I have people tell that to me sometimes when I'm playing Janna. And the truth is, in certain matchups, you shouldn't. Like, this is one where you shouldn't, because Soraka is just going to heal through whatever you do. And with Sivir in particular, if you try to cast any spells on her, she's going to spell shield it, and you're going to give her more mana. So this is just one of those lanes where it's just a farm off. And she's pushing you in a tower. Now, one thing you could be doing a little bit more is auto-attacking the minions. So auto those minions so that Twitch can kill him faster, so he doesn't get pushed in as much. And I do like the... okay, good. Nice freeze. Yeah, you want to hold it right here. Because if Yi ever decides to come down, then you could get some kills. Now, you can walk around. One thing I would say to practice, and this can be a bit trickier... wow, she didn't spell shield any of that, so that's pretty lucky. But yeah, y'all really don't even want to fight at all, because Soraka's just going to heal through it. You're just basically, it's like punching yourself in the face, going up to try to work your way through that. Now, one trick here with warding, if you stand about right here, and you place a ward, try to place it like right here, near the bottom, like where this little waterfall starts to arc here. Press it right here, and it'll actually put it through the wall right here, the ward here. So you don't have to walk all the way around. It takes a little bit of practice because if you goof it up, it'll put the ward up here if you place it too high. But I think if you stand right here, then you can ward like right here. Try to ward right here, and it'll put it over here on this wall. So that's a nice way to ward if you're not sure if someone's there. And it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it really is because they can't kill you from there. Right? So if their jungler's waiting right here to get you, you can't walk up and ward this, or they might kill you. So you can ward over the wall. And right here, like you did, you can walk around and ward here safely. But it does take you extra time. You're going to miss experience. You're going to miss coins. Twitch is going to be alone for a little bit. Yeah, y'all need to leave. Y'all need to leave. Go ahead and exhaust and ping him back. Okay. That's fine. Alright, Yi's coming down. Okay, go up there and... Yeah, go. Auto attack her first. Go. You guys should have been up there faster. Once you see Sivir... Okay, well, you got both flashes anyways. But once you see Sivir coming up, you need to start going. And a good thing to do to try to bait Sivir, her spell shield, is just auto attack her. Because a lot of people just will see something flying at them and they'll spell shield. So she'll think it's your W. So just walk up and auto attack first. And then after her spell shield goes off like 1.5 seconds later, then hit her with the the W and slower. So that's just a quick trick against Sivir, is you just walk up like you're gonna W her and then auto attack her, and she'll oftentimes she'll use it. Okay. Okay, this is looking a little rough so far, but you gotta hang in there. How's Switch doing on farm? Okay, basically holding even, which is good because you're supposed to lose this lane and farm because she's going to keep pushing into tower, but you're actually going to be ahead a little bit, so that's actually a win. Go ahead and auto attack. Yeah, there you go. Good. That does help him last hit. Now you got to be careful autoing it. I have people tell me, well, why don't you auto attack all the ranged? Well, that's why right there, is because when the next wave rolls in, then it can actually mess up the auto attack because those new minions are going to do damage. So it's good to auto attack the ranged minion. Yeah, just go ahead and back. Go ahead and back. Okay. It's good to auto attack the ranged minion if it's full health and that tower's about to hit it. But you don't want to auto attack them too early because then this wave will do more damage to it and will throw off the mojo. All right, it should be the gold item. What did you get here? Hey, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Yeah, you want to get the gold. I know you want to get Ardent as fast as you can, but you want that gold. For the reasons I described, it gives you more gold over time. So I would have probably gotten, I know it's kind of an awkward buy. Okay, good pink ward. I think that was either yours or Twitch, I don't know. Yeah, you should have probably just gone that way with him, but it's fine. Run, ping him out of that. Yeah, that's a bad idea. Just tell everyone to just leave. Like, it's getting weird. Oh, Kali's up here too. Y'all need to run. Is she dead? Okay, she died though. Alright. This is a huge waste of time. Just go down here right now and push this into their tower. Okay, that was good. I guess. Okay, so I guess they just left it. I don't know. Yeah, Twitch did the right thing, though. Just go down there and push that lane in. She could have waited right there and maybe... I don't know. Against Ahri, that's too risky. Yeah. Okay, you just killed one. Ahri's probably going to have to go down there and farm. They just lost a whole wave at the tower, which is good. Alright, there's Sivir. Yeah, I think y'all can do this. Just keep shielding Yi. Go ahead and shield him whenever it's off cooldown. Just keep him topped off because you don't want them to like come in and kill him before he smites. You don't want something like Zen to blast cone over this. He's... yeah, shield. No one's gonna kill her? Okay, just run. It's fine. I know you were low on mana. I thought they were being a little scared there, but that's fine. Okay, Yi's coming. Save your mana here for a W. The W is the most important thing. Okay, go, go, go. Go, 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 go. I'm gonna say... I'm gonna say run faster on ganks. So when a gank's coming in, this has happened a couple of times now, you need to just run at her. I know you don't want to give away her position, is probably what you're thinking. Like, you don't want to give away the E's there. But once he gets to, like, right here, you have to just go, or you're going to be too late. Remember, the key is you auto and then W her. No, it's just really hard to kill Sivir in general right now because she can ult and run away. And it's on a pretty low cooldown. I think it's less than 2 minutes. It used to be like 60 seconds or something, I think, before they nerfed it back in the day. Alright. Look at the items. Okay, so Twitch has Hurricane, so he's stronger than her right now. Because he's... interesting. Good. Now, yeah, y'all can kill him if you get the Soraka. Like, the Soraka should not have been there. Like, you're not going to be able to get Sivir, probably, but you can get Soraka, so that was good. Alright, GP's catching up. Just kind of assess the lanes. Their lanes are all winning. Your lane's winning now, though. You're up CS and you're up kills, so... You just always want to tab and sort of just keep that in mind, like, who's strong, just so you're not surprised, like, oh my god, you know, that mid laner just one-shot me. Well... You should have known that because they have 5 kills, that type of thing. That happens to me too sometimes. I'm like, what? But, you know, if you're properly watching your tab, then you shouldn't be surprised by stuff like that. Okay, go ahead and shield her, heal, or ult. A little late on that. A little late on that. I would have just walked up, shielded her immediately, like tornadoed the Ahri, and then just ulted right on top of her. You got to get as close as you can to her when you're going to ult, because a lot of times they'll have a tendency to run out of it. And ping it. Like, ping it when you're coming in. Ping your ult. Okay, good job, Twitch. Okay, so I'm going to say use your cooldowns faster. Ult closer. Now, sometimes it is dangerous to get close enough to ult for like a full channel Janna ult, because people can kill you while you're doing it. But in that situation, I think it was fine to go forward, because it looked like Ahri was going to be the only one there. You know the jungler wasn't here because you came from here, so... The jungler, Zen could have run in from here, but I think you had exhaust also. I don't remember, but I think it looked fine. Just walk up and shield her and ult. And they don't have much crowd control either, outside of Ahri's charm, so people aren't going to interrupt your ult as frequently as they might on other teams. Okay, good. Alright, he's going Bork. That's fine, I guess. You need to ping when you have Ardent Sensor, so they know that you have it. That's not going to change their plans too much, but it's a good habit to get into when you ping a big item. So that people understand that you're really strong. Okay, hold on. Why? Let's see what happens here. Okay, I'm gonna back some of this up here. Why weren't you there with Twitch? Let me see. So I noticed this earlier too. You backed a little bit slower than Twitch. The first time you went back. Now you're back in at the same time. Is this just a case of you're just not buying fast enough? Yeah, it's too long in the store, I think. It's the problem. You need to have item sets. I don't know if you have those set up yet. Watch my stream, and you can see the item sets that I use. But you need to set up item sets. I can't show you after this because I'd have to update my client, and I need to do at least one more coaching video before I update the client, or I won't be able to access it. But look up item sets or watch my videos, or just come on stream sometime and ask me about item sets, and I'm happy to show you how to do that. But you need to have item sets, and you need to know which items you want to buy, like, while you're backing. So you want to watch your back so that people don't jump you, but you should already have the items in mind, and as soon as you get back in there, you should be able to click them immediately and walk off the ramp. It shouldn't take longer than, 3 seconds to get your items and get off the ramp. Unless you're, like, waiting for, like, 10 gold or something, but that shouldn't happen very often. Okay, so I just want to see how long you spend in the shop here once you get back. Oh, we can look here. I was about to start counting old school. 1,000, 2, 1,000, but we have a clock these days. See how Twitch bought his and he just started running, like, immediately? Okay, so I think that was 15 seconds in the shop for you to buy. And look at how much further back you are. Now, this usually would not be a big deal. It's like, whatever, But this time, it actually is a big deal. Because if you were right here with them, you could stop this, right? So as soon as he gets charmed, you could ult and save him. Right there, boom, ult. And you probably would have saved him. Shield and ult. And then she gets really low also. Now you ult. Run. Don't auto-attack him, just run. Like, you're not, the fight's lost. Do you have a sight stone? You do have a sight. You should have warded this and like that. Just ward all this. As soon as a fight breaks out, just drop all your wards. Just like drop a ward here, 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 just everywhere. Just ward. You can always just go back and get more later, but you need to make sure your team has vision of everything that's going on around a fight. Because sometimes, sometimes League of Legends is just a game of, like, quarters of a second. Not even seconds. It's a game of, like, quarters of a second. So, sometimes it can actually be a huge deal. If you back and you can get to a situation, 2 seconds faster, that's a massive deal. Or if you see a fight's going on and you rotate 2 seconds faster than the enemy lane rotates, that's a huge deal. So, sometimes it seems like, it's not a big deal. I'm just a little bit behind or whatever, but it actually is. Not all the time, but, enough of the time to where it needs to be something to strive for. Okay, what'd you get item-wise? Alright, I hope you're completing Oasis here. You could have had a lot more gold if you would have finished your tier 2 coin at this point. Like, because it upgrades it from 25 to 40. So it says 15 per coin. So if you think, how many coins do you get in a minute? Like, 3 gold coins maybe? 2? Let's say 2 gold coins to be conservative because you're rotating around a lot. So if you get 2 gold coins per minute, and you could have updated your coin at, let's say, 7 minutes into the game. And that would be like 11 minutes right now. 2 more coins would be 30 gold per minute. Times 11. That's 330 extra gold you could have right now. Which is huge. I mean, that means you could have completed Ardent Sensor a bit faster. Now, yes, it does have the initial cost of the 500, so that is something to consider. But you also got to keep in mind that everybody else would get that extra move speed. Maybe Ari would have lived if she had that extra 8% move speed when she was running towards you earlier. Maybe if you had a bit more CDR, you could have used your ult more, or you could have, shielded more in certain fights. Yeah, you need to just run from her. Yeah, probably smart just to run. Just run. So, I would have completed the gold item there, I think. A lot earlier. There you go. Exhaust her, exhaust her. The heal was a bit preemptive, but... Go ahead and tornado her right now. Whenever someone Zhonya's like that, throw a tornado at him. Like, you'll kind of get the timing in your head. Zhonya's, I believe, is 2.5 seconds. But just as you play more and sort of get the hang of it, go ahead and anytime someone is Zhonya's or otherwise invincible for a certain amount of time, just go ahead and tornado him. It doesn't seem like it's a huge deal, but it stalls him out for like that extra half a second, and it would have killed her under the tower. Remember, if they wake up on top of that tornado too, that's one of the cool things about the tornado is if they wake up on top of it, then they still get hit by it. So you don't have to throw it after they wake up. You can throw it before they wake up even, and then if they wake up on top of it, it still knocks them up. And she got a triple. She got 3 or 4 kills that fight. And that could have been prevented if you just hit her with a tornado there. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. We'll replay that. And I think you needed to exhaust her immediately. Maybe you didn't have it. No, you did exhaust her. She just went invisible when you did it. Okay, so that's good. Okay, yeah, you did exhaust her. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, you're not sure where she's going to go. The heal was unnecessary by Twitch, but that's okay. Okay. So right here, she's going to wake up in about 1.5 seconds. There's no minion wave here. So if you tornado her, at a minimum, she's going to take an extra bit of damage. And her only escape right now is actually this minion. So if you tornado her, then she loses her escape. So she's going to, I think what she does is she R's to this minion. If you tornado her, and that minion dies, because Sivir probably would have killed it, then you would have landed at least 1 or 2 more tower shots, let's say. So like right now, throw a tornado, and then she would wake up, and it would hit her. Boom, she's up, gets tornadoed. That would allow Lux to get a clean shot at her. Twitch would get like an extra 2 shots on her. Okay, so there's a tower. Yeah, and she did R to that minion wave. So just imagine, like, Lux would have had an extra 0.5 second for this to land, and it would have hit, probably. Even if it didn't, Twitch would have gotten 1 more auto, and the tower would have gotten 1 more shot on her. And she walks away with virtually nothing. Soraka does get a heal in there. But if she got Lux binded under tower, it certainly would have been over. So once again, it seems like a small thing, but it adds up quite a bit. And then she eventually, of course, comes through and kills like 3 or 4 people. Yeah, that's good. Good ult. Yeah, you need to tornado her when she jumps in. You can actually stop her from doing any damage with her R. If you tornado her in midair, it knocks her out of the air. I know it's kind of hard to do, but that's what you want to try for, is when she's there, when it looks like she's running in and she wants to jump, just go ahead and throw your tornado preemptively. So if you miss the tornado on the Zhonya's, that's fine, but I want to see you at least take the shot, right? I want to see you at least try to hit the tornado on the Zhonya's. I'm pretty sure it wasn't on cooldown. If it was on cooldown, I'm not going to go back and look. If it was, okay. But if it wasn't, at least take the shot. You know what you could have done to get even cheekier? Well, I'm not going to look right now, but what you could have done is you could have walked up next to her. I think you had time for this. When she goes down there, you could have walked up next to her and R'd her like into the tower, or R'd her back diagonally this way, if you really wanted to. But I think just a tornado I think a tornado would have sufficed on the Zonya target. I don't usually like doing the really aggressive, like, R plays, but that would have also been an option. What do you have item-wise? Okay. There you go. Good shield. I'm not sure if that was necessary, but, you know, I'd rather see you use it and not need it than not use it. Okay, that was a great tornado. See how that tornado just, like, totally screwed up his mojo there? Like, it slowed his combo down so much that... And it just freaks people out. Like, they don't know what happened. They just got stunned for, like, half a second. This totally throws them off. So, yeah, that tornado there was actually what won you guys that fight. It's very, very subtle. But it was a huge deal right there. Stand over here close to him so you can run faster. Don't forget that when people are near you, especially once you upgrade your coin, they get 16% extra movement speed, which is massive. So you need to stand close to people when they're trying to escape, because that gives them that extra move speed. See, look how fast Lux is running when she runs near you. So stand like right here and let them get out of here, and ping them to get out of here. You guys have Dragon, and like right now. Y'all need to leave. Time to go. Time to go. Get out. Y'all should have already been on that Dragon, killing it. It should be dead now. Yeah, see, you didn't have ult. Ult right there would have been helpful. Like I said earlier, I understand why you were scared and used that ult, though, when Ahri came running out. That's fine, but now they're going to get the Dragon. And y'all could have had that if you just backed up off of this tower, because you guys aren't going to get that tower. Like, they're spawning. Spawn timers are still low. It's only 25 minutes. And Wind Dragon is actually pretty useful here because, you know, the map's opening up and people are... You need to rotate faster, so... Yeah, y'all just got to give that up. You know, people talk a lot of trash about Wind Dragon, like, oh, it sucks, who cares about Wind Dragon? It's actually pretty good, like, later in the game. It's pretty good. Now, it's not that great early, but it's very good once the map opens up and people need to rotate. And it's very subtle power that, you know, a lot of people won't notice, but is it as good as Infernal? No, of course not, but it still is very valuable. So, I think that rotating to get that Dragon... So rotate the Dragon faster. Okay, good ward coverage. I would try to get mobility boots by this point too. You're a bit late on that bandwagon, but at the same time, you know, Akali's right here, so you need to be ready for that. Ward this, ward this, ward this. Oh, he's gonna walk right into Akali. Where'd she go? I guess she just backed? I don't know, that's weird. Oh, she ran. Y'all need to be doing something productive, not chasing Akali. That's a good attempt at a redemption. Yeah, you need to direct your team to get objectives. I think especially Twitch right now, he's so big, he just wants to go around and kill people. And I understand, that's fun, you know, but... You know, this is... Sometimes you just need to close out games. I know it's fun when people are having good games to just be so powerful and go around and kill people. But if people are really serious about climbing, People have to close out games. So you need to help them figure out how to do that. Because a lot of times people, especially in kind of bronze and silver, they don't really understand how to win. Like, they understand that killing champions is good and that's fun, but they don't know about macro at all, hardly. So they just don't know, like, when they should be getting towers, or even, they don't even know how important towers are, you know? There's like, oh, they're just structures, who cares, you know, that type of thing. So you need to be pinging and shot calling and telling them, like, what to do. Run, do not go there, do not go there, just run, they're dead. Just meet them over here, run over here. There you go. Yeah, if your team ever gets caught out like that and cut off, do not run through the middle of people like that, because you're just going to die. Just leave. And try to, like, you can run over here and try to meet them, but do not try to run through people to go catch them. I'm guilty of doing that sometimes, too. Like, I just want to run through 3 people and go shield the Twitch. Almost always ends up very poorly. Okay. This is kind of what I was talking about, where they scale really hard. And this is why you kind of needed to close it out. Like, the game's not over, but you can start to see the problem when a colleague gets this many kills against GP, and GP underperformed. You know, this... And this is the problem with GP, is GP's very often underperform. Because he's a very difficult champion to play. He requires a lot of finesse and a lot of game knowledge to know when you should go all in, and to even just to use the barrels properly. It takes quite a bit. Now, Yi, that's the thing. Yi and Twitch, though, can be powerhouses late game, too. So this is just like Battle of the Titans, but, you know. And Zen takes towers very quickly. He scales pretty well, too. So you need to try to stick on this Twitch, I think, right now. Yeah, y'all should be Baroning. Yeah. I was so busy talking. You guys should have been over here like 10 seconds ago. Well, you did have to push up mid a little bit, but yeah. Yeah, y'all should have it. I don't think R is necessary because nobody's dead. Or nobody's alive. You didn't need to R there. I like trying to keep people topped off. But you got to look at the death timers too and see that nobody was up. Like if a Kali rolls up right there, if you see her, then yeah, go ahead and do it to knock her back and ult. But okay, so I kind of see why you want Locket here, because a Kali can just kill you. I don't know. I think you can still position better and just go for the Athenes for the bigger heals. I understand the sentiment, though, because Locket does give you the extra... Oh, wait. You get... It's not a debate between Locket. It's a debate between Mikhail's. Yeah, definitely Athene's over Mikhail's. Locket would have been one that would have been understandable here, though, because they have so much burst damage off of Kali, and she has so much mobility that it makes it hard to position against her if she wants to kill you. So I could see going Locket as your third big item here. I still think Athene's would probably be better with stronger positioning, but I think Mikhail's is pretty much out because they just don't have any crowd control. Shot call more. What kind of dragon is this? Yeah, you need to fight for this one. Wait, y'all have Baron, right? Okay, so here's what you need to do. You need to get wards on this, first of all. Do you have wards? I can't tell. Okay, good redemption. Okay, good. Good ult. Okay, y'all got her. Your base is burning. I wouldn't use ult there. So this is another thing that I just talked about. Like, you gotta understand everybody's dead. It's an ace. So you don't need to ult there. Like, if everybody was up and you were trying to do a super risky Dragon or Baron, and everyone's at like 10% health or something, sure, you know, you might need to ult there, but right there, you don't need to do it. Because now for the next, you know, 2 minutes or so, you're going to be much weaker because you don't have your ult. I don't know if you're AFK here or what. Like if it's lagging or something. So I know life happens sometimes, but try to get back on track here. Okay, there we go. Twitch should not be doing this. If a colleague jumps out of this, he's going to be in trouble. She just gets to walk up to him. She could jump onto this and then jump onto him. Yeah, that... I mean, he's strong, but come on. It's like hyper-fed assassin versus hyper-fed ADC. The assassin's almost always going to win. Jump up. So yeah, I would have pinged Twitch back and then pinged Akali. Just kind of communicate what I was telling you. Now, he may not listen, but I think at least letting him know that Akali, like, is there and can kill him would be helpful. So people may not always listen to your shot calls, they may not always listen to your pings, but you know what? Some people might. Maybe this guy just, like, has some headphones and he's just listening to his favorite music or something, just chilling, or maybe he's just, like, AFK pushing this tower, like, texting his girlfriend or something. Maybe he's not even thinking about Akali. Maybe he forgot Akali's even in the game. So I think just giving them the information and then letting them, you know, choose whether they want to disregard that information or actually listen to it. But just put it out there. Just give them the info, you know? Just let them know, this is dangerous, you shouldn't be here, Akali's going to kill you. And then if he wants to stay there, fine. But at least you told him, you know? Like, you don't have to make it sound that sassy, but just, like, ping it and then ping Akali a couple of times. In the tab menu, you can ping enemy champions. So just ping back, ping Akali, and then ping, like, some question marks in the jungle. And hopefully he'll figure it out. Yeah, what y'all should have done for that Infernal is you should have warded around the Infernal and then push up the side lanes with your Baron, and then force them to choose whether they want to contest the Dragon or lose tower damage and lose creeps. But you didn't give them a choice. Like, you didn't push the lanes, so they just got to sit there and wait. And it worked out fine. Y'all killed them in the end, but you should have prepared for that a little bit more by pushing the side lanes. But you can't always judge, like, whether something was a good decision based on the results. Because sometimes your team just might outplay the enemy team, and, you know, you can't always count on that. Nice, the redemption snipe. I guess that's fine to kill her. I don't know. You're wasting a lot of time here, though. It is letting Yi push middle. Or push bottom, rather. Okay. You do have other people pushing on the map, so I guess that's fine. Now Baron's up in 40 seconds. Ping people back right now. Ping them back. Tell them Baron. And get over here and ward Baron. Ward here. Here. Pink this. Hey, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Tornado her, tornado her, tornado her. Okay, y'all got her with the GP stuff. Bucks is over here doing the Raptors for real. Alright. It's kind of hard to push through Ahri. Well, she didn't hit the wave with her Q. Keep pushing. Okay. Pretty good heal. Top off Twitch. Alright, keep working it. Nice. That's probably it, right? Shield people, shield GP. When you're sieging towers, go ahead and shield. There you go. That gives them the Ardent Sensor buff, and it gives them the extra AD off of your shield. So if there's no immediate threat, you know, if you're just kind of pushing, so everybody's dead, or just nobody's around, you can go ahead and use your shield to push faster. Okay, good. Wrote down run faster on ganks. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember exactly what that was. I talked about it. It's really early in the game, I think. Oh, run faster to help your ally gank. Okay, so I remember now. Okay, so don't reveal the intent. So don't go too early, but I think you need to go faster than you did bottom lane to help the Master Yi with that gank. So once he gets around right there, within like a couple of seconds of striking distance, go ahead, run forward, use your auto, see if you can get Sivir's spell shield, and then if she wastes her spell shield, then you can W her, and she's almost certainly dead. Because Master Yi should be able to stick on her, especially with red buff. So that's one thing early on. Okay, so use your cooldowns faster. There were some where you'd like hesitate and then use your exhaust a little late, or use your R a little late. It's particularly that one with Ahri mid lane where, or no, not with Ahri, with your Lux who was getting attacked by the Ahri. You should just walk up immediately, you know, shield, tornado the Ahri, and ult. You maybe even might want to flash ult there if you think you can save her. Especially early in the game, the kills matter quite a lot. They can snowball people, so, you know, just try to use your CDs a little bit faster if you can. I think okay, so use item sets, buy a lot faster, and like 5 seconds, absolute maximum in fountain. Ideally, you want to, like, as soon as you go back, you start walking out of the fountain and you bought your items before you leave the fountain. Like, that's how fast you want it to be. But like 3 to 5 seconds, like max. You should already know what you want to buy. Now, sometimes I know I'm guilty of this too. Like, I'll take, maybe not 15 seconds, but I'll take maybe 5 seconds or a little bit more sometimes to buy items. And those seconds matter. As you saw right there that I pointed out with that Twitch play, if you'd been there to back up the Twitch, then you probably could have saved him. Now, at the same time, should Twitch have been face-checking that bush? Absolutely not. Should he know you're not there? Yes, he should. So, you know, it's not all your fault that he died. He shouldn't have been doing that. But what I'm saying is you have to count on your teammates. They're not going to wait on you. They're not going to even be paying attention probably in bronze. They're not even going to know you're there. Right? They're just going to think, oh, magically I won this fight. You know, Janna doesn't do anything, that type of stuff. So, you know, it's not your fault. He should be, you know, more cautious, but is he? No. So you just kind of have to work around the realities and just be as fast and efficient as you can. And that fits in with, that wasn't this game, but the last game that I coached, there was a Nami player who was going to ward and kind of just sort of meandering about for a little bit, seemed a little uncertain, like where to rotate and stuff like that. And the Twitch, there's a Twitch in that game too, got caught out and killed. bottom lane. And then, of course, they pinged Nami after that. Like, where are you? What are you doing? And, the Twitch had a fair point. Nami should have been a bit faster with the pathing, but he also should have been safer. And even at the Platinum level, and even Low Diamond, when I was Low Diamond last season, and when I was Platinum 1 this season, where you play against a lot of diamonds, low diamonds, they still don't pay attention. The ADCs will still get caught when you go out to ward. So you just want to in general, be as fast and efficient as possible with your warding, with your buying, with your rotations. All of that needs to be, like, decisive and quick, as fast as you can make it. Like, you need to know what you're doing. You need to have, like, a purpose in your mind. Okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to buy these items. As you're walking out of the base, okay, we need to go do this. We need to go push this tower. We need to set up for dragon. You need to be having some missions in mind. You need to communicate that with your team as well, which is something that I put down a little bit later, but I'll go ahead and say it right here. This is huge. So especially if you watch my channel a lot more, you learn about macro calls, you watch some of my guides, you watch the stream, you just play more games and become more comfortable with, like, different timings and shot callings. You need to communicate that with your team, because a lot of people, especially in bronze, are not going to understand that. They're not going to know what macro is. They're not going to know what to do. They're just going to kind of wander around, try to kill people, and if there's an open tower, they might just attack it, But they're not going to be thinking, okay, dragon's going to be up in 40 seconds, so I need to back and get this key item and help the support, like, set up wards around dragon. I need to get these lanes pushed in so we can go contest dragon. They're not going to be thinking that. They're going to be thinking, oh, dragon just spawned or something, and then they might wander over there and try to get dragon, maybe. Or they may not even notice dragon spawned, like what happened bot lane, and they just kind of aimlessly attack a tower, even though dragon's right there, and then the enemy team forces them back, kills a couple of people, and gets the dragon. Where you easily could have just gone back, got the dragon, bought some items, reset. That's what you want to do. So just communicate that with your team. Just let them know, as much information as you can that you think is useful. If your ult's on cooldown, ping that. You did ping that a couple of times. That was good. If Twitch is AFK pushing bot lane and it's dangerous, ping him. Not only just ping him back, ping Akali's portrait a couple of times, and then question mark the jungle so that he gets it. Not just, oh, it's danger, you need to back up, but Akali is probably right there. You don't have vision in the jungle, you need to back up. So once again, he may not do it. He might sit there and die anyways. But it will let him know. So that way he's making a conscious choice. Okay, I'm going to sit here and die. Rather than, just zoning out and just thinking, oh crap, there's Akali, I should have run. Because a lot of people just kind of zone out and they just go on autopilot. And they're just not thinking. Like, they're not meaning to do, like, really dumb things. They're just not thinking about it a lot of times, right? So he's just not thinking, oh, there's a 16 kill Akali that probably just spawned and is running towards me right now because there's nothing else to do on the map and there's no vision in the jungle and Twitch is such an easy pickoff. Then they're just going to go do it. So just overall communicate and shot call with your team more, and just kind of really focus on not only understanding for yourself what should be going on, but communicating that with your team. So there were several fights. That one that I remember most is where Twitch got picked and Ari and Zen were chasing you around. Just start dropping wards. Anytime a fight's about to break out, just start dropping wards. Just over walls. Just think, where could someone flank me? Or where would be really annoying if we don't have vision? And just drop wards. So you can go get more later. So if you just have to drop 3 wards, just boom, boom, boom. Like all around in like a bush, over a ledge. Just everywhere in a fight. Just get the vision there. And then you can go back after the fight, get some more wards, and put the wards back in proper places. But you need to be dropping more wards before fights start to give you vision. Okay, so use your tornado to stop movement. So if Akali's trying to jump in, I know that's a hard timing to do, but if you can anticipate and stop her when she's trying to R in, then that's awesome. That'll save a lot of damage to your team. Then also on Zhonya's, it's an easy tornado. Just as soon as she spawns, just tornado. It knocks up for a half a second. Seems like it's not a big deal, but it is. The Lux Binding would have hit, and that would have prevented a triple kill for her down bottom. So, you know, that's a free hit. Hit them with something when they wake up with Zhonya's. Ideally, a tornado, but you could even just throw a W at them if the tornado's off cooldown. If you want to get fancy, you know, you could get on the other side of them and ult them back onto your team or ult them further under the tower, but I don't usually like doing those kind of plays. However, I do think that throwing a tornado or at least a W something on her would be helpful. And I think... Okay, the final one... You know, there are times and places where you want to use your ult just to top everybody off. But those 2 times when you used them that I remember where you were near Baron and Dragon, everybody was dead, so there was no threat that the enemy team was going to roll up and kill you while you were contesting those objectives. So I think that just holding onto your ult and using it in battle, that knockback mechanic is huge, especially against Akali. And you did do that. You did ult Akali back, you know, several times in fights. So you were using it in fights. But I'm just saying that try not to use it outside of combat unless you absolutely have to. You want to use it to get people off of your back line because that knockback is so powerful. Because it not only is basically like a little stun for half a second, but it also displaces them. So I think that's really powerful. And there were, I'm sure if I went back and looked, there were some fights where it was on cooldown because you use it outside of combat. It's a pretty long cooldown, especially at early levels. So make sure that you're using it in combat as much as you can, not only to heal people, but to knock other people back. Okay, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. Like I said, for anyone watching that wants one of these coaching sessions, you can just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. If you want to watch more coaching sessions, you can click here. I've got a Janna guide, other champion guides. Also, if you'd like to become a member of the channel, that's just $5 a month. I've got a link here to the member sheet. I can click on this. It's $5 a month. We play every Tuesday. I just play with viewers all night, normals games. It's a lot of fun. We're building an awesome, wonderful community. You get access to our member-only Discord. You get to play on viewer night. You get to vote on champions that I play every week. Then the straw poll that I release. And you get 10% off if you want a coaching session, if you want to commission a guide, anything like that, 10% off. And then when Warhammer 2 comes out, you can vote on which faction I play for that week as well. And I'll release some episodes for it for the week. So just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com if you have any questions. If you'd like to sign up, you can just click here on this link. Just run it through PayPal. There's no sign-ups, no cancellations, no hidden fees. It's just straight up $5. I believe it's every 30 days. It's $5 a month from whenever you sign up. And yeah, as long as you still enjoy this channel and you want to support it, you can keep going. But if things get tight in a few months or whatever, and you just really need that $5 back, you can always cancel. It's not a big deal. But that's just a way that, you know, I can kind of predict sort of support on the channel, and then also a way that I can reward people who want to support the channel in a really affordable way, right? It's less than $1 a day. So I'm not trying to make the hard sell on anybody, but I'm just saying that it is really cool. And if you are thinking about getting a coaching session, you might as well think about getting a membership, because if you get the membership first and then you get the coaching session, you get $2 off the coaching session for 10% off. So then it's only $3 for your first month of membership. So, you know, if you're thinking of getting coaching, also consider getting the membership. Try it out. If it's, you know, once again, if it's something that you're not interested in, you can always cancel later. But I think that a lot of people really are enjoying it. I think I've only had one person cancel so far, and that's, he, you know, told me he just all of a sudden got this huge hospital bill or something, and he had to pay for it. He had to cancel, but he still comes around. He's still a great guy. But you know, almost everybody has stayed. Everybody's enjoying it. Everyone's having a good time. So I think it's really cool if it's something you would be interested in. But anyways, that's going to be it. Thanks again, David. I really appreciate it. I hope this helps you out. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. You know, well, you can email me if you have questions. But anyone else that has any other advice for David to help him optimize his play here, or that just has some other, you know, things they want to chime in about the game, go ahead and leave some comments. And that's going to be it. Have a good day. I'll see you next time.